Howdy y'all, Andy McCabe here, claims delegates and the leader of the Restoration Rebels. I want to tell you a story about a roofer. And this story involves something that's near and dear to my heart. It's called Xactimate. And I'm going to say something that's probably going to upset some of y'all who write Xactimate estimates for a living. And frankly, kind of upsets me too, because I do write Xactimate estimates for contractors across the country for a living. But here goes. You don't always need Xactimate to handle insurance claims. You don't. It's not a requirement. It's not a law somewhere that you got to use Xactimate if you're a contractor doing insurance work. It doesn't exist. The reason we use Xactimate is out of courtesy to the adjusters, out of a courtesy to the insurance carriers, to make our negotiations and our conversations easier because we're speaking the same language. That's it. That's the only reason. Xactimate's not a superior estimating program to the available estimating programs that exist out there in the world. So I got a call the other day. Actually started with an email. Hey, Andy, I need your help. I think I need an Xactimate estimate written. I'm in a bad way. Help me out. Can you call me? All right, fine. I'll call you. Here's a roofer who was looking at a 14 square replacement. I think it was architectural or mid-grade, something just above a 3 tab, whatever it was. 14 square roof to replace, and Foremost Insurance, in their infinite wisdom and genius, wrote the insured a check for $3,500. $3,500, 14 squares. All right, even if it was $100 a square, which would be $200 a square short in most regions, that'd be $14,000. But no, he's looking at $3,300, $3,500. Okay, well there was a $500 deductible in there. Oops. Let's call it $4,000 to replace 14 squares. Oh, and by the way, this wasn't in town. This was about an hour north of his town. And he says, well, I think I need you to write an Xactimate estimate for me so I can talk to Foremost about this. And I said, no, you don't. I'm sorry to say this, you do not need an Xactimate estimate. You need to write an estimate like you would, I don't know, like a contractor. And I said, if this was just any other job that you just got, what would you charge? What would you charge per square? And they said, well, I don't know, I get $300 a square. And I said, okay, do the math. $300 a square times 14 square. Put it on your letterhead. It's an estimate. It's a good faith estimate of costs. Tell me, hey, that includes removal and carry away or haul off or whatever. You give that to your customer. Say, hey, this is my price. And leave it on them. Now it's up to the customer to figure out whether or not this $16,000 job can get done for $3,500. Not your problem. What's that saying? Not my circus, not my monkeys. Don't take on that monkey. Don't take on that job and think that somehow an Xactimate estimate is going to magically solve all these problems. You can't solve a $15,000 problem difference using Xactimate. You got to use your client. You got to use the law. You got no leverage. You give them a number and you walk away. He's like, well, I don't want to walk away. And I said, do you want to do $15,000, $16,000, $17,000 worth of work for $3,500? And he's like, no. And I said, well, then what's your choice? What other alternative do you have? You don't. So Xactimate's not the answer. It just ain't. That just gives us something else to argue about. We're going to start counting turtle vents right? And then they're going to come back, well, starter strip is included, ridge is included. I mean, you're trading one argument for another, right? Don't give them the ammunition to argue with you. Give your client the ammunition to settle their claim. And when they call back, because they will, because you've taken the time, you're the only person that's taken the time to educate them. You're the only person that has let them understand what their rights are and what their needs are and how to solve their problem. They're going to call back and then they're going to say, I accept your bid. Period.